Let me start with a movie question. How many of you have skipped the first 10 minutes of a movie because nothing is happening? Most of us, yes. Yeah. Because no action, no background drop, just confusion. We don't know what is happening, like what is going to happen. So, that exact process is Genesis. Okay? So, in the beginning of that 10 minutes, that boring 10 minutes, the hero is not sure about what he is going to do. The villain hasn't turned evil yet, and the story doesn't even know what it is going to become. So, today we are celebrating the exact process, Genesis, the concept to impact. Okay? So, we all now love awards, followers, subscribers, fans, audience, claps, everything. But Genesis is not that. It is messy, it is uncool, and it is quiet. Nobody will be there to applaud you, nobody will be there to cheer you, and nobody will be there to say it to you that it is going to happen. And I'm sure cinema will be a better choice of option to make you understand what I'm trying to say. Because no other life advice will or ever care better than cinema. Because I love cinema, I know most of you love cinema also. So let me take an example, and the superhero movies get this. Before Batman became Batman, he was just a rich guy with trauma and some bad sleep. And before Rocky wins, he was punching the meat in the storage, meat storage, right? And before, closer to home in Kerala, we can take a reference from the Malayalam movie. Before George became this cool in Premam, he was very awkward, he was heartbroken. To be honest, he was trying too hard to fall in love or to success, to be honest. So, yeah, that is exactly. If movies are perfect from beginning to end, that will be boring because we need the ups and downs in hero's life. We need the villain to come and break it down to him, like, yeah, you know, whatever you're trying to. I'm saying villain not as a person, whatever is happening negatively in his life, we can call it like that. So, it won't be perfect. If it is perfect, it will be boring. So just take the movie reference as a way to understand what is Genesis. Because Genesis is something which we have inside, which we are trying to do, or which we are unsure whether it will make it or not. So, and it will be a small concept. Like recently, a movie got released, Chatta Pacha. Most of you might have heard about it, right? So the director is constantly saying that the idea came because he was a WWE fan and he thought about what will happen if WWE come to Kerala. So that's just a small like idea which he expanded into a commercial film, right? So that's exactly what Genesis is. And while he was doing, just think about while he was like, you know, in the process of making the film, most of my time, like what is going to happen? How WW can be possible in Kerala? How can make it happen? There will be millions of questions that have been asked to him by himself and others. Just think about that. And also, we are not going to success in one day. We all want that overnight success. We want to like you know be a overnight star. We want to like you know avoid the 3 a.m. overthinking and everything. But think about our favorite actor Fahad Fasil. His first movie was a disaster, to be very honest. But can we think about Malayalam film industry without him in the present scenario? No. So that's exactly what Genesis is teaching us. It's the process, and whatever happens because without Genesis is luck. And whatever we believe in ourselves, it is intentional. We make it happen for ourselves. And we will be having millions of questions like whether it is going to happen. And people will be saying to do have a proper plan, do have a like you know have your like you know figure your life out before 25 and everything. And those people who are asking you to figure your life before 25, they might have not even figured out till 40, 60, or whatever it is. So
understand. And we also have a lot of example in the business entrepreneurial side, like KFC. That's the most said story in our life, right? He started KFC around 60 years old, and so many people have restarted so many things. I am not sure whether I can take the example of myself. I restarted my media career at the age of 26, and I constantly say to everyone, we can restart any time, but we have to trust in ourselves, and we have to trust the unsure phase of life. We have to trust the all the questions that come up in our mind, and that exactly is Genesis. And whenever you are trying to understand what is Genesis, or what is happening in my life, that will be a question which we ask to ourselves every day. So if that is happening, just think about a movie which you really like for example, The Pursuit of Happiness, which we love. That movie is a I don't know, that is something close to my heart, so that I'm taking example of that movie. It was such a disaster in the beginning of that person going through everything in his life, but at the end, the ending was so happy ending, and it made us happy. So think about that. It will take some time to figure everything out, and we can't figure everything out. That is another thing. But take an example of a movie, whichever one you like, and think about, if there is no plot twist, if there is no villain, if there is no background drop, what is going to happen? It will be boring, very boring. Do you want your life to be boring? No. So trust the messy process and believe in yourself, because nobody else will be there to believe in yourself. So that's it. Thank you.